Brilliant, man. I think we're ready to go.
We good to go?
I think we're good to go. Now, how come you were like 30 minutes late? What's going on? Where were you?
I was in the sauna.
You're in the sauna?
Yeah, I was sauna with a speaker.
Is this at the job you're at? Do you train there as well?
No, this is at Shredded.
Yeah? Where's...
Yeah, one of the guys I work with at another gym, he's like, oh, come down to Shredded. It's got quite a lot of like strongman stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And then
Speak more into the mic. There you go.
Yeah.
You can move the mic a bit towards you. There you go.
And yeah, like some cool stuff there. A bit of ice bath, sauna. You should get a membership, unlimited ice bath and sauna, and you get to train and everything.
Is it a commercial gym or are you training?
It's a private gym, but it's set up like Revo, but not shit.
Is it around
It's in
where you live?
Inaloo.
Inaloo.
Like, I'm willing to drive 20 minutes to it.
That's good. That's good.
Mm.
I did the ice bath and sauna last night with Kushla, and
Oh, yeah?
you know the benefits are amazing.
No, that I feel wonderful. So ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready for date night.
Did you end? Oh yeah. Did you end on the ice bath?
No, not ice bath today. Just
Really?
Just yeah, because I already trained this morning.
Yeah.
Don't wanna stop the information.
Yeah. Is that? Whenever I train with Kushla and we go and do ice bath afterwards, we did that for a couple of weeks and then I realised that that's like slowing down the protein synthesis, I believe.
Only slowly, but it's like you want to do your ice bath, but you want to do it different times. Like you should do ice bath in the morning, or if you do like let's say you're a sprinter, you do ice bath after a sprinting session.
I think I was seeing a study that said you want to do it. This is the mirror, so I can see if the camera's recording or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, that's why it's there.
That's pretty late.
I don't think... Can you see the... You can't see the camera now.
No.
Can you? No.
That's alright.
It's just so I can.
Shit happens.
Sit it back down.
It's like everyone just reckons, yeah, like ice bath's healthy, so you got to do it after training.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, it helps, but it depends what type of training you're doing. Because hypertrophy, like the main stimulus is the fact that you're getting your muscles pissed off and inflamed, and then your body sends more blood flow there to repair the muscle damage you've caused.
That's why you can do sauna, but not an ice bath afterwards.
Sauna's basically just flushing stuff out. Like it's helping it, if anything, because it's making your body warmer, making it work harder, more blood flow. Whereas the ice bath, when you're actually in there, your body's trying to slow it right down because it's freezing. Like it thinks it's dying.
Getting more blood flow to those muscles, helping repair the little breaks in the tissue. Yeah.
And same thing with like sprained ankles. So many injuries. I hate people putting ice on injuries straight away.
Yeah?
Because some of it works. Like, depends what you're doing, right? Again, but for so much stuff, you can't just sit there for like a month putting ice on your ankle that hurts and think it's gonna fix it. Because what part of your body fixes a sprained ankle? It's your blood. It's your blood coming through and fixing it. It's like all that ice is doing is stopping the blood from coming through.
So that's why if you sprain your ankle, you don't put ice on it straight away?
Straight away, maybe, because then it's more a pain factor then. Because it's like you want to be able to walk and get out of wherever you sprain your ankle, but it's like you shouldn't be sitting there putting ice on it for the next month thinking that's fixing it. If anything, like heat helps with heaps of things as well.
You've got a great body of knowledge on physical fitness, training, but you don't have a sports science degree, or you haven't gone to uni or anything, which I find quite fascinating.
I've just got my fitness certs.
Yeah.
Kind of just started training myself, and then like, remember JC, our rugby coach?
Yeah.
That man talked a lot to them, and that kind of made me go research a lot of things, just because I like talking to him about it. He was my mentor as well, my mentor for shoot, and mostly debunking things he was telling me, because he's a bit of an old head, like likes to just throw things.
He's got a great body of knowledge though. He
does. Very smart man, but I always like to debunk some of the things he said. Didn't happen often, but like every now and then I was like, JC.
But how did you get into training? Into coaching. Like coached by Herman, how did that come along?
So coached by Herman came along. Originally I was working out at the gym, so when I still did competitive Olympic weightlifting, I couldn't afford the gym fee, so they gave me a job at the gym. So I got free use of the gym and got like a little bit of money, and they paid me like actually a pretty decent amount.
So they paid you as well.
They paid me, but it was like it was 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
So it was like we both knew it was just for free membership.
Yeah, they
basically.
free membership.
Yeah,
That's
like
the main thing.
just helping me out. Because one of the owners, when I came in, he was like, because originally I was doing $10 per session, and then they were like, one of the guys was like, no, you got to up it, like 10. We wouldn't offer anyone else $10 a session, and then thank God the other owner came along and.
It's good. The microphone records this front part. I'm just worried if you're like speaking at the top of it. You're fine though. You're good. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Hello.
Meow into it.
No, and then she was like, nah, $10 is fine. Eventually gave me a job because I think I was paying quite late because I was at school and worked like once a fortnight.
Yeah.
And used pretty much all the money at the canteen.
But now you're out of school and you're coaching. What's your schedule like? Are you doing the PT at Intense Health, and then you're doing powerlifting coaching on the side with that?
I recently dropped a few classes at Inner City to start more up at Intense Health because it's quite a exciting new direction.
Oh, it is
to go rather than just like same classes. Sometimes they're busy, sometimes they're not. You're like just coaching whatever's on the board. Right. Whereas here I'm like by myself, doing my own thing. And it's like, there's a program to follow for every client. They all get programmed, but it's just me in there. Like, it's total freedom. There's no one watching over my shoulder. Maybe the camera a bit.
You like the responsibility.
Yeah. It's a lot better. It's like, especially when you're trying to teach someone something, it's so much easier when you can like just be yourself there. You don't have to worry about like your boss or someone like watching over you. Like, am I doing this right? You just have to be. You do what you want, and you know what you're doing is right. You've done it long enough, and it's like lets you be a lot more confident with it because you're not constantly like, worried about.
And you've built up that knowledge of like what to do just through like years of just being interested in training. Yeah,
well, because when I started the Olympic weightlifting, then I was obviously getting taught a lot of new things. Yeah. Then I would go to our strength sessions for rugby in off season, and then JC again. I would be helping him. I would be coaching JC. So the guy who like originally got me into weightlifting, but he just did CrossFit.
Student becomes the master.
So he would like sit there. I would get to school early, so I'd get the bus, and then just go sit there and like watch him do a session and be like, "Wait, keep your heels on the floor."
What's the difference between doing powerlifting training and then doing just like a gym bro, like Kushla and I are when we go and we do our little bench press sessions or squats?
Well, it's a lot more just centered around getting that weight up, right, and getting comfortable with the high weight. So, if you're training reps, sometimes, more often, yes. If you're training in the gym, realistically, you should be going to failure quite often. You can't really go to failure quite well with snatch because you either hit it or you don't, So, yes, it's more just the fact that you're like so honed in on just getting that weight up. So you're just getting more comfortable at that 90% range. Yeah. And then you can build to the next 1RM. Once you get to that new 1RM, that's your goal. Get comfortable at that weight, be able to hit it for every single session.
How often are you hitting 1RM maxes?
Ooh, so different for different people. Like, depends on like training age, how long they're actually weightlifting, how often they're weightlifting. Lots of people don't do Olympic weightlifting as their main thing. Yeah. Most people do it at a CrossFit gym or at like a gym and office classes. And they do it once or twice a week because it's like a fun other thing.
Once or twice a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, that sounds like a lot, but you have to remember it's a skill. Like, imagine you only went to school once or twice a week to learn how to write. You'll be very good at it.
Still not very good at it after 12 years of schooling.
Yeah.
You're very good at it, though. That's something about you that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, I enjoy my writing.
Very talented.
Bit of poetry here and there.
You almost went into... What did you almost do? What did you do?
I did do journalism and creative writing.
Yeah, at UW, I remember that.
At Curtin.
At Curtin?
Yeah.
But you stopped.
Only one of the boys that didn't go to UW.
Exactly.
No, it was alright. It was just... I don't see a career down that way. It's like, I always thought it was going to be the other way around. I always thought that I wanted to keep fitness as my hobby type of thing and do like the writing thing as my day-to-day thing.
Are you still doing hobby writing?
Not as often, a bit busy now, but every now and then. Now it's like the other way around. Now I'm like, no, I want to keep that a hobby because as soon as you start sitting there, it's like, oh mate, you're walking to the journalism class and in the first lecture they tell you, oh, you don't really need this class to get a job as a journalist.
Right.
It's just good to have, and you're just like, yeah, nice. And then it's a
That was the first thing they said to you?
maybe second sentence.
Second
it was
sentence.
it was ridiculous. And then some other things happened. Had to go to South Africa.
Yeah.
And then I was like looking at these assignments on the plane. And I was like, do I watch these lovely selections of movies on this 24-hour journey to Dubai and down to South Africa, or do I do a big ass essay for communications, which isn't even a subject I wanted to do, but got forced to do? And I was like, I know what the answer is.
Yeah.
Right then and there, I was like,
on the 24-hour flight to South Africa.
I was like,
That's a long time to be on a plane.
Uni can wait. Well, it shouldn't be that long. It's just, but his flight straight to South Africa is 3 times the cost. So you fly to Dubai, sit there for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Just too short to do anything more than like go eat, like walk around.
You can't, because
back on flight.
I'll be scared to. I've gone to Manchester, and stopped at Dubai, and I've been
know.
too scared to miss my plane.
Yeah,
But then you get there 40 minutes early, and you can't decide if you want to go get food.
exactly.
Yeah.
Me and my brother got real early to Cape Town on the way back to Australia, and then we've aged. We're gonna get some food.
Yeah.
When we got to the security, it being South Africa, the such well-run country, they only had one booth running for the security for the entire international airport, and there was a queue going all the way. And you know how we noticed? Because we're sitting at a Wimpy, which is it's like a commercial, imagine a KFC or a Hungry Jack's, but actually a nicer restaurant.
Okay.
Like a diner,
Right.
like an American style diner.
Yeah.
And the queue was building up to the restaurant for the security, and we were like, oh yes, time to go.
Time to go.
Time to go.
Yeah.
We actually wondered what these dickheads were doing waiting for food, such a long line, and then we realized it's security. And we got there 3 minutes before boarding.
Oh my gosh.
I think we stood in the queue for an hour and a half. Just one booth.
One booth.
At an international airport.
Yeah, that's scary. Even if you go to Bali, there's and it's an okay airport, but there's multiple booths.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh.
Yeah. So, your new job now with the training equipment that they've got. What does it say? What are you worried about?
It's meant to be red.
Yeah, it's meant to be red.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that's what Brian asked as well. Yeah.
You got me a bit red here.
Maybe tilt it a bit up though, just in case.
All right.
Beautiful.
There we go.
So the new training equipment. You sent me a thing. I read it. I wasn't so sure what it meant.
Let's pull it up, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, to be honest with you, that's notes I made when I first got brought in. So they did a very good job of training me up. I had to do about 25 hours of training and observing before I could start my own shifts.
Wow.
And even then, I was getting observed and getting told you did this right and wrong. So they did a very good job. So we had a lecture style thing. It was just me and one other dude, and the inventor, the owner.
A one-on-one training is perfect.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting there. He just wrote stuff on the whiteboard and talked about it for 2.5 hours, and we asked questions. That was the first interaction I had after the interview.
That's a great way to learn stuff, having a one-on-one conversation with someone.
It was good. It was good. Because we were this far away from each other, and then you just ask him questions, and he's like, this dude did half the work in the science behind the machines and everything. And it's
Okay.
There you go.
So
All right.
I've seen... I wonder if my editing skills are good enough, which I can put it in a short thing. Maybe I'll experiment with that. But you sent me some videos of you going 100% on some exercises.
Yeah. How much fun that was, eh?
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's a different type of fun. It's a you get a bit of a high off it. You know you walk out of the gym sometimes after a tough session, how you feel you feel good. You're you're struggling to walk in,
yeah.
You've
done some hard work.
Yeah, that's just one set, and then you're yeah, it's time to call it a day. And then you're oh no, here's the program.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's hard because it's so basically the way it works is it's called an ARX, adaptive resistance exercise, X instead of E for the exercise.
Get fancy.
Yeah, fancy.
X sounds better.
Aesthetic. Yeah. And basically it's got a motor, so I think it's got like 2,000 horsepower in it.
Wow.
So that's a lot of horsepower for a machine that humans pull on, right?
Gym equipment. Yeah.
And it's imagine just like a cable machine. Imagine like so there's two machines.
Yep.
It's not far off like what you'd see in like a multi-trainer, like in a hotel, but really good quality. Not like a hotel gym quality, really good quality. And it's got the cables, and you have this like screen, like a big touchscreen.
Yeah.
And you set your ranges, you set how far you want to go every time, you set the speed you want to go up and down, back and forth, all that stuff. You change like grips, all that stuff. You can personalize all of it.
Weights and
resistance. You just set how fast it goes.
Right.
So you always set how fast it goes. Weight doesn't matter because it's always going to move that speed.
Yeah.
So you could put a freaking elephant in front of it and it's still going to keep moving. You know, like I don't know how much horsepower an elephant could take, but you get the point. Like it's going to move anyways.
Yep.
And you're just pulling, so you can decide how hard you're going to pull. But at that,
is this the one you're in a squat position?
What's that?
Is this the one you're in a squat position? Or is this when you're seated and pushing onto the
seated, like the leg press one?
Yeah.
So you have like all your exercises on like these two machines.
Yep.
And so then you can mix that stuff in with like free weights, like dumbbell stuff, all that. But the main focus is that machine because you can get so much work done in such little time.
Yeah.
Like I kid you not, and
you're doing one set, you said.
And it cooks you. You go to about 3-4 sets depending how long you've trained in that way and everything. But
yeah,
man, like it cooks you. Like you could walk out of that gym after one set and you'll be shaking and struggling to get upstairs.
And how long are you?
And no, you don't have to do one more set. That's one set. You can walk in 2 minutes. If
Yeah.
you really wanted to, you can cook yourself.
And how long are you? How long is a split, or how long is a repetition?
That depends. So depending how big your range is.
Yeah.
It's like some people with really long arms, like a lat pull down type thing.
Right.
They just go forever because their shoulders coming like all over me. Yeah, but it can be very long. You can also change it. You can like there's a minimum always, so it can only move. It can't move like real fast, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always moving at least a moderate pace, and you can set it to be like a minute long rep if you really want.
Yeah. Okay.
But at that point, you might as well do it static, which is the other thing you can do. You set a range for a static, and it holds there. No matter how hard you pull or let go, it's going to stay in that position.
Right.
Whereas like any other form that you're doing a static in, if you keep pushing, like it'll stay there, obviously, if you've said it was a static. But if you let go, then something's going to drop down or something's going to happen, you know?
What's the static? Sorry?
Where you're just holding it in one place, like an isometric.
Yeah.
So
you're like with the leg press machine, you're holding the... there.
So imagine someone's loaded like 2,000 kilos onto your leg press and then just set it in one place and you just have to hold it there. But imagine you stop pressing. It's going to fall down. That's where this comes in. So it knows it has to stay there. So it takes how much force you put in, like live. It shows you as well how much force you're putting into it.
Yeah.
And if you... So we as a trainer can see that as well when clients aren't actually pushing. They can't just pretend to push. And if they stop pushing, it's going to stay there.
Oh, you can see if someone's being a bitch or not. That's so funny.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Have you called anyone out?
No. We tend to understand that people come there for different goals.
Mm-hmm.
Some people come there to get really stripped and redded. Some people come there to...
Some people come ready to fucking hurt, and some people just not.
Yeah, that's it. Because it's like... So a lot of people I've talked to us about, they're like, wow, like, why isn't everyone using this as a form of training? Why isn't this, like, taking over the gym? Like when I was telling the boys on Saturday more about it.
Hella expensive, I assume.
Because it's expensive, but also, like...
It sucks.
Most people don't want to do that.
It sucks. Yeah, okay.
It burns. Like, it is... Have you run a 400 before? A 400 meter?
Yeah.
Like, damn, like, that last 100 meters, that's the entire thing. But it does such a good job. But it's
around
because,
that bend. Yeah, I know you, man.
Because it maxes you out the whole way. Because on a... Well, if you go and do a barbell bench press, sure you can get, like, one max effort repetition.
Yeah.
Sure you can have, like, someone put more plates on and load it. But you're going to have to change stuff every time. So much effort.
Yeah.
Or you're doing one max rep, you're tired, and now you can't lower it slowly and get another rep. On this, you can do what you'd be doing on your max rep. Max rep. Max 1 rep, max. Yeah. For bench. And then still on the way down, get even higher because you're stronger eccentrically. Get a higher force production on the way down. Then you're tired. You're cooked, right? You've done a 1 rep max.
So you're keeping...
And you can go again. Because it's going to keep moving.
You're keeping that...
Tension
for longer.
So much longer. Yeah.
And is that important when it comes to trying
Yes,
to
yes.
hypertrophy and trying
So-
to tear the muscle?
If you're looking at a purely hypertrophy, like focused training, it's like 60 to 90 seconds, 45 plus
Tension.
of tension
And is that throughout a whole set, or is that just for
for a set.
Okay.
So like, that is that sweet point. But you remember, like, if you're not using these machines, you have
60
to
seconds?
structure it a little bit differently, okay? Because you'd be going in, you should be doing like a bigger strength movement first,
Yeah.
and then you move into other things, like moving into your accessories. After like 1 or 2 big strength movements, we're doing bit lower reps, more getting the muscles working through like a higher strength threshold, telling them they need to get stronger as well, not just have better endurance. But when you get to that point where you fatigue them a little bit, and then you're hitting that 60-second mark, give or take 15, 30 seconds, that's when you're actually getting those muscle tears that like help you regrow the muscle better.
And is that standard for most people? Is that 60-second range of intensity?
Yeah, like that's pretty much how your body works, to be honest.
So if I was doing bench press and I did like 12 reps, and let's say I had overall it was like 60 seconds, is that sort of the same?
So it's different for something like bench press, because like bench press is good for building muscle and everything as like a, let's say, plain compound exercise. But you should be, I think personally, like people should be using stuff like bench and squats as more of a strength movement, and then having accessories that focus on your quads, your hamstrings, your triceps, your chest, your back, whatever, you know.
But would you start with doing if you were to structure a workout plan without the use of your great equipment, would you start with doing this is what I usually do, I usually do a strong compound movement. Say if I'm hitting legs, I do a squat, and then go into some, like a leg extension or like an RDL, is that a compound movement, I guess?
Yeah. To some extent.
Or I'll do... The only reason I don't do the ones where you lay down and you lift your legs up is because JC told me not to.
What did he say about that?
I think he said there's no movement of your legs where you... I remember him telling me when we did CrossFit, there's no movement on the legs where you move your leg from point A to point B. No? It's an interesting one.
There's been so many studies.
I possibly misread what he said.
I could see him saying something like that, and it's like people who've had a long time in the gym, especially those, like, let's call them old heads, in terms of the gym. They have very strong preferences either way, and the thing is, with a lot of exercise like that, or like same with leg extensions, like the seat position, all that shit. There's so many studies for every single position saying it's better, and every 2-3 months, all these YouTubers and all these like people come out, they say, "No, this one's the best now. This one's the best because look at this."
Yeah.
And then 2-3 months later, like, "No, but this one's the best now." It's like it's constantly changing. There's very little that, like, it's the same movement that they agree the movements are both good, but they always say this one's better, this one's not so good now. But it's always like 5% difference, and it's like it's always based on something like the population they've chosen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
When looking at the scientific studies, it's based on the population. Yeah.
So like people are always going to say this one or that one's better, and it's like I'm not a sport researcher or anything. I can't comment on which one I've done studies on and it's better. But if you're working your muscle, if you're feeling that fatigue, if you're actually pushing it to its limit, giving it stimulus to grow, it's getting the job done. Yeah. You should be mixing in things like that anyways. Like, let's say you had a 5-week block of doing those seated ones, then you could switch to the lying down ones for the next 5. But on the topic of hamstrings,
switch up your exercises. Is that a good thing to do?
Yeah, like not like the crazy Arnold shock the muscle or that shit. A little bit, but not like the full thing. I think he would just go in and maybe it was just for the camera. But like he would just go in and be like, "Right, now I'm going to do bench press." And he'd be like, "Now we're going to sneak up on the quads, straight into leg extensions." And
that's how you shock the muscle.
Yeah, shock the muscle, scare the muscle.
Bro science.
And it's like, not quite that, but just like change it up a bit. Because if your body gets used to one thing, it gets good at it, right? Like if you're doing something two times a week for that long, it's going to get good at it. It's going to find ways like to subconsciously make it a little bit easier, cheat, or just going to get better at it. Then when you switch it to something like a lying down leg curl, just a little bit of different tension, a little bit of a different like hip position.
It's a different movement. Not a different movement.
It's the same movement. Biggest thing in the seated one is
different position.
Your hip is a bit more like chilled out, right? And then you're getting like a real big squeezy cramp. Like squeezy contraction, sorry.
That's what it feels like.
When you're lying down, you'll probably notice you get way more of like a stretch towards that bottom, like that last couple inches. It's a lot more like, my hamstring is really pulling, you know?
Yeah.
On the topic of hamstrings though, like Nordics. Nordics are just the best thing ever.
For hamstrings?
For hamstrings, yeah.
Is that
it gets everything you need from the hamstrings because it makes you hold your hips in position. Your hamstrings are also a hip extender, hip flexor. Right? Yep, you know what I mean? So it also does the job, like that's why RDLs still hit it. All you're doing on RDL, holding your legs in the same place and then coming up, squeezing down. Your hamstrings help with that, but they also do knee flexion. They're that like carryover from the hip to the leg, you know?
Do you just train Nordics with just body weight, or can you get to the point where you can hold?
I don't think many people on earth can do weighted Nordics because the thing is,
they're very difficult.
It takes so long to even be able to do like one Nordic on the way up.
I don't think I can do one.
Imagine how long it takes to get two then, and then it does actually go faster, but I don't think many people weight it. They might weight it on the way down and pop up, but.
Do you think you might get back into university and go study sports science?
Oh yeah, like I've actually been thinking about it the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because now I'm only working in gyms now and no like boxes stacking in a warehouse or delivery driving anymore. So
eating biltong.
Maybe a little bit on Saturdays, but
yeah.
So like now I'm like, yeah, I can actually see myself.
You can get back into it.
Yeah.
Would you do it at UWA?
I haven't thought about it too much, but I know ECU is very well respected. I think in a lot of things, UWA is slightly falling off the last couple of years.
Sure are, mate. Sure are.
May I please make a toilet run quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you very much.
Go for it, buddy. I got one more topic for you because I know you got to get to work.
Oh, sorry, we got a bit of time.
Yeah. You were at a point where you were representing WA for your powerlifting.
For weightlifting, yep.
Yeah, is it weightlifting? Is that
so technically it's Olympic weightlifting. Like powerlifting will be squat, bench, deadlift.
Yeah.
Weightlifting is just snatch and clean and jerk.
Snatch and clean and jerk. Okay. Do you get to a point weightlifting where you need to start thinking about taking substances and a
little bit of performance enhancement.
A little bit of performance enhancement.
Yeah, look, it's a funny one. I'll say this more happily now because I'm not competing anymore or coaching any like high level athletes in weightlifting. But it's like I think it's very obvious that quite a lot of the people on the international stage are on it.
Is it regulated in any way?
It is regulated. The thing is, there's always more money in making new steroids that can fly under the radar than there is in stopping steroid use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So to get to that elite level at some point, like if I was a weightlifter.
I think so. Because you have to think about this as well. Yes, like training and technique and all that has gotten better since like that 80s, 90s era. Mm-hmm. But in a purely closest thing to like a purely strength sport that you can really find in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Why are we still breaking world records? You know, if we knew everyone in the 80s and 90s were juicing like crazy, right? Because no one could even pick up half the stuff then. They didn't hold samples back. Like, they didn't hold samples, like, compared to new ones and everything like that. They just test you, like, oh, do you have it in your blood right now? No. Right, cool. Off you go.
That's back in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just, like, it was just barely regulated.
Are there records set from there that we haven't broken because they're on roids? Or have we kind of naturally, like, over the last couple of years with better technique, met those standards?
The thing is, yes, technique has gotten better, but it's like, if...
At some point.
Yeah. If steroids help a lot, right? If you're training every day, yes, you need to be consistent. Like, steroids doesn't take anything out of anyone's hard work at all.
No.
Like, at all. And I think it's the bodybuilders and all that stuff as well. People are like, oh, we're on steroids, but it's like, you know how hard you have to work to still improve on steroids? And the thing is, I don't think that we'd be still progressing this much at weightlifting if we didn't, and there was no like big drop off in the early 2000s, 2010s, right? It wasn't like everyone suddenly got really, really weak and then had to like just learn really nice technique and then now we're breaking PRs again. It's like...
Well, I think it's actually kind of smart, to be honest. I think things like the enhanced games that are seen...
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm kind of for it, to be honest.
I really want to see it.
Which is interesting because I did a PE unit as an elective and the unit coordinator is very against enhancing, doping. But I just...
I think you should be in like the Olympics thing, because it's like there shouldn't be a pressure for athletes to get on steroids to be the best. Because at some point, hard work doesn't always pay off anymore, you know? If everyone that you're competing against has worked just as hard as you over the last 20 years as like a sprinter or something, wouldn't you also hop on roids?
Yeah.
What's the last 20 years been for then if you can't even like achieve your goal just because everyone else is on steroids?
But also at the moment, it's so highly, not just with steroids, but with supplements. Like if you have I think some sports with creatine and other supplements, like if you have a little bit of that in your whatever supplements you're taking, protein powder, like they ban you for sanction. They sanction you for like 6 months, which I think is ridiculous, to be honest.
You can get up to like a 5-year ban just having a little bit of a substance. Like that would be a harsh one, but it's like they're allowed to do it and no one would be allowed to like protest it.
But that's stupid.
So there was this like English rugby player. I think he like just got brought into the English squad or something. Like he's real young, coming up, like good form. Maybe would have got in a game on the tour. Who knows? He used his mate's protein shaker, who wasn't even taking anything illegal. Just his protein powder had a little bit of something in it, right? And this guy was always specifically not using like stuff. He was only using clean stuff he got straight from the team doctor, all that stuff. He used his shaker, and they got done for like having something in his blood
because of it was in the shaker.
It was in the shaker, and I think he got like at least a 2-year ban or something like that.
See, that's stupid. See, small things like that is stupid.
It's a weird one. It's just like, how do you know? Anyone can look good in front of the meter, and it's like, sure, like that story is very sad, and it's like, I believe it, and I believe pretty much anyone's story who says that, but it's like, if you get caught with something, then you gotta go, and they know it. Like, even me, just to go to nationals weightlifting, I had to do like 3 certificates in like being drug safe and stuff, and like,
yeah,
literally like just to go to nationals for weightlifting, which is a pretty, let's be honest, like in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty minimal sport, and junior nationals isn't really at the top of the doping agencies list, you know. Yeah. And you had to go, like they tell you all that stuff about like, don't use other people's shakers, make sure the supplements you're using has been like given straight to you, don't be using like all these brands that like advertise things, pre-workouts especially, you can get done for so many different types of pre-workout.
Yeah.
I was like, and I don't reckon a single one of us would have got tested anyways, unless you did some crazy shit, but like...
I've listened to that. I've listened to the owners of the enhanced games talk about how they're going to replace the Olympics. Have you heard anything about it? About what they say, how they're going to restructure the Olympics?
I've been following it too closely, to be honest. I've just been very excited for it. I'm kind of like, I'm kind of standing back, and then I just want to watch a bunch of dudes come out and not even run faster, because we're going to realize everyone in the normal Olympics on steroids as well.
That's the thing. That's the thing. There's a statistic saying that 47% of athletes have admitted to using steroids, and then I reckon the other 53% have just not admitted it. Yeah, but it's smart, because what they're doing is, instead of having the Olympics in one place, they're having it in 5 different cities. I don't know if you know this.
Oh yeah.
So having it in multiple different countries, and so the host country doesn't get fucked basically by like financial pressures and, you know, other people coming in.
That's really smart.
It is smart. And the athletes who compete in there will get like $1 million for gold, $1 million for breaking world records. So all the money that goes other places is actually just going to go to the athletes who, in my opinion,
which is good,
deserve it.
which is good.
Yeah.
You do have to feel bad for the dude that comes like 3rd or 4th place though.
Oh, he might get a little bit.
He's been absolutely juiced to the max. Also worked very hard again. Like obviously worked very hard at the same time, juiced to the max, and then kind of just watching someone get $1 million.
I think the whole narrative about stopping people using steroids because it's cheating is just old school. Like, or it's not even old school, because back in the day people did used to do it, like you were saying. But in order to push humans to another limit, I think that steroids are the way to go, in my opinion.
I agree. That thing is, there's so many more people on steroids in every single sport and every single like level of sports.
Let's see what people can do.
I agree. It is the only way, because at some point humans are going to max out in how much better they can get. Like, have you seen the thing about we can't run faster than Usain Bolt ran? So if we could, it'd be milliseconds.
Usain Bolt scientifically shouldn't be able to run as fast as he can. Some bullshit about that.
A bee shouldn't be able to fly.
Yeah.
We know very little. We know very little about everything.
Yeah.
Especially the ocean. We know, like, we've discovered like 10% of the ocean.
It's insane.
It's insane.
It's insane. Honestly, think there's aliens in the ocean. It could be aliens.
They're probably hiding them. They probably discovered 11.
That's where they're hiding. If anything, if there's aliens on the planet, okay, you see all that stuff about UFOs. You ever listen to Joe Rogan? You ever listen to any of his podcasts?
I see the reels.
I'm big into the UFO stuff. That's like one person I want to have on here.
Yeah,
Brian Walker, Herman Strydom, and then a UFO expert. That will be the way to go. That's it.
He wouldn't meow as well as me.
What if the aliens are like cats or something?
Oh, I wouldn't mind that.
You'll become good friends.
Oh.
You'll be.
I should have worn my MILF shirt today. Man,
yeah.
I love felines.
You know that's Taylor's favourite show, right?
Good.
Every time she talks about my friends, she goes, Alex has got this friend called Herman, and he's completely jacked, but he has this cat, he loves felines, and he has this shirt called MILF on it, which says, "Man, I love felines."
It's fucking amazing.
It's an amazing shirt.
There's a frog one as well.
Oh, it's
Man, I love frogs, yeah.
Okay.
There's I think the whole website is just MILF, and then anything that starts with F.
Yeah. That's great. What else have we got on here? I think that's about it, man. I'll let you get to training.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming on.
That's quite alright.
I'm gonna have.
And your shoulders wasn't muted.
It should be fine. Is it still red? Yeah, thank God.
Good.
Thank you, Lord. We're all good.
No problem then. Alright.
Thank you, everybody.
That was great fun.
Tell people how they can find you on Instagram. How can they find Coach by Herman?
It's been a bit quiet recently due to all my athletes being injured and having terrible elbows.
Oh, that's not good.
It's
because it's winter, I guess.
It's because it's winter, yeah. They're not actually injured. They just don't want to train when it's cold.
Shit weather.
But coach.by.herman.
Good.
You'll find some videos, and we'll be back up soon, especially in summer.
Great.
We're going to change it up a bit to a more overall fitness. Overall fitness. None of that influencer bullshit. Just some overall fitness.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. There's
Thank you
6
very
people
much.
that do.
Shout out Shush.
Shout out Shush.